Okay, it is Thursday. And Thursday means it's kind of my day. I get to pick a topic, roll with it, whatever I'm going to talk about today. And today I kind of wanted to touch on another topic that is kind of work related for me. And that is, and it's sports related as well. So, and that is the quarterback / coaching situation at Michigan. For those of you who didn't know the story, I don't remember all the names. I read the story a couple of days ago, but I will readily admit that I am not nearly as up on college football as I was 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 10 years ago, whenever. It's been a while since I followed it really closely and paid a lot of attention and kept up with the names. But the story, for those who may have missed it, is that the head coach, Brady Hook, I think his name is, at Michigan, basically left his quarterback out there too long. The man was already suffering from an ankle sprain, got hit basically below the chin on I wouldn't say a late hit, but it was right as he was releasing the ball on a pass, and just got rocked and could barely stand, and ended up staying in for one more play when clearly the man was concussed, could not stay on his feet, was not fit to play football. And then later on in the game, just a few plays later, after he was replaced, the backup quarterback lost his helmet on a running play. And so he had to come out of the game for a play, and this starter, instead of the third string who was grabbing his helmet ready to go, the starter ended up being sent out there for another play. Now he just handed the ball off, but still the fact that he was even put in the game sent major bad vibes through the college football landscape. This was not we're trying to win the game situation. They were down 30-7 to Minnesota at the time, and it was honestly, and this is what came out later. It was blamed on lack of communication between the coaching staff and the sports medicine staff, which worries me to some extent, not because of anything that it worries me professionally, because that's kind of our gig, is communication. Where we are primarily tasked with communicating with the world outside of our athletics department, with the media, with the fans, with even with potential recruits from time to time, given the nature of some of the things we create. But I feel like sometimes it's overlooked, the fact that we're communications professionals. This is what we do for a living, and maybe in some of these situations we need to be looking internally and looking at what our communication processes are within our department. How do people communicate with each other within the department? How is your sports medicine staff getting this information to your coaches? Are you in the loop on this information? Now, and that's not saying that in this particular situation, in real time, that the SID at Michigan had anything to do with that situation. That is not what I am trying to say. But more from a preventative and a preparatory measure, what can we be doing to help out our coaches, to help out our athletic directors, to help out our compliance offices, to help out our sports medicine, our academic folks, and help them to effectively communicate what the situations that arise during game time, during the week when a kid's having trouble with his classes, and trying to study, get ready for a test, when a kid is having some other trouble with some compliance issues, when kids are going out on social media and doing things they shouldn't be doing. How are we communicating and making sure that the communication lines are strong between all those departments, and that everything is taken care of the way it needs to be, so that the athletic department operates as a well-oiled machine. And I think that's something, when we take a look at what we're doing, maybe that's something we need to take a second and address. Talk with our athletic directors, talk with our senior staff, and say, what's our plan for communication when something happens. We talk about crisis communication, and we talk about things like that where we're dealing with the media, but are we sure? Do we know the processes for how athletic training and sports medicine communicates with our coaches? Do we know the processes by which our compliance office is communicating with our kids and with our student athletes, and letting them know the things that they need to be doing in order to maintain their compliance, to maintain their eligibility? Not saying that, again, I understand the don't put a million things on your plate thing idea too, but this is more from like a high strategic standpoint. I mean, it's strategically putting together a plan so that we know who's talking to who when, there are lines of communication open, and there are fallbacks. The press release from the Michigan story that we opened this with, which by the way came out on Tuesday at like 1 a.m, which has its own problems, but I'll leave those alone for right now. It mentioned that they're going to make some changes. They were going to put another sports medicine personnel up in the coach's booth, in the press box, to make sure there was radio communication down to the field, because it was a situation where somebody on the sideline or the sideline personnel didn't see the hit that initially knocked the quarterback out and put him out of commission for the game. So, where are we? Do we know that those personnel have the sight lines that they need? Are we accommodating of those people? Are we accommodating of those situations when laying out our press box? Probably football being probably the biggest culprit here, not because of its visibility necessarily, but more because there's just so much action going on. There's 22 guys all slamming into each other at one time, and yeah, I mean, there's 22 guys on the soccer field too, but they're spread out. There's not nearly the level of contact, so that worry, it kind of goes away. But just something to make sure that we're discussing and laying out with our people. So maybe when you get a second in the next couple of days, kind of take some time to think about your internal communication procedures. Consider those within the context of how you're communicating with your external bodies as well, with your media members, with your donors, with your boosters, with the student body at your campus. And make sure that you're putting the same level of care into that communication as you are with your external folks. Maybe it's writing a memo every couple of days. Maybe it's just sitting down with the athletic director and letting them know a situation that you see that can be addressed. And in those situations, you can make your athletic department stronger, more responsible. We're going to get some rumbles here. Just stronger, more responsible, more responsive to the needs of the student athletes in your department. And in that, you'll eliminate some of the crisis situations we come into. Don't want to run over students on campus. Got to stop at the crosswalk. All right, here we go. So that's really the thing I wanted to hit on today. Again, Tuesday, Thursday, going to be the personal day, the day when I kind of go over just something that's on my mind. Maybe it's family related, maybe it's the games I play, maybe it's the sports I watch. I don't know. I mean, I haven't really set a hard and fast schedule for Tuesdays and Thursdays yet, but when I do, if I do, I will make sure and let you guys know. One last set of rumbles. All right, there we go. I've got to find, that's the next thing I got to figure out is a new pathway to go to work if I'm going to keep doing this particular setup. So again, I hope you liked the vidcast today. If you did, make sure and send me something and let me know. You can shoot me a like on Facebook, or on, on YouTube. That's where I'm posting this stuff, right? Or you can always get in touch with me on Facebook as well. Again, facebook.com/SIDMike. Or on Twitter, at Mike Anderson SID. I keep it on my hip pocket, so I will get to you as best I can. But I'd love some feedback. Again, shoot me a like if you like what you see, and shoot me a comment if you don't, and let me know what I can be doing differently, how I can serve you guys with the information you're looking for better. So that's pretty much it. Rolling into the parking garage. I have learned to front light myself a little bit, so I'm turning on the dome light here to make sure that everybody can see me. I did see on episode 0 that I was pretty invisible when I didn't do that, and I'm sure it looks a little goofy to folks I'm driving by and seeing, but you know what? That's okay. I can deal with that. So again, this was episode 2 of the Vidcast. I'm pulling in, and it's time for me to go to work, so you guys get to work as well, and we'll see you tomorrow.